everyone. This is the Tim and Jen Show. My name's Tim Ryan. This is my amazing wife, Jennifer Gimenez.
Hi, everyone. How are we doing this week?
Yeah, it's been a hell of a week.
I mean, honestly, I was thinking about this today. How are you? Normally we'll be like, hey, I'm great, I'm good, or everything's okay, I feel blessed, lucky. Are you? How are you really, really doing?
Well, it's been and I'll just say it's been a clusterfuck with the Capitol, all that shit. One president coming in, one going to jail or getting ousted out. And I try to stay out of the politics, but I have never seen anything like this, what's going on. Then you've got a COVID pandemic. Then we have three other pandemics that have kind of been put on the back burner, which are addiction, mental health, and suicide, which nobody seems to talk about anymore. And we're at an all-time record for suicides, for people struggling with mental health, for addiction. Opiate overdoses are over 200 people a day.
We got alone, and I'm talking about friends. I'm talking about close friends of ours. We got 3 of them this week that called us, and they're like, I don't know how this happened, but I'm hooked on pills, and we're like, you know what? You're not the first person to say it. How did it happen? I can't tell you how many times in my life, especially when I was in active addiction and I was trying to get sober, and then I'd be like, what happened? Boom.
How did I get here?
What happened? I just remember saying that a lot. What happened? And blink of an eye.
You've got to understand the one friend that we spoke with, obviously I won't mention his or her name, but it was from just not being able to sleep due to all the anxiety, and now on Klonopin and Wellbutrin and
the other two friends, but the other two friends were on Klonopin and this and that, and they were like, it's not working anymore, so I'm taking more. This is serious. It's so scary to know that I'm constantly looking on the internet, on my phone, go are we okay to go? Can I go for a walk? Is there a riot happening? I just want to make sure we're cool, but I don't know. I'm just really, I don't want to live in fear. I know I talked about this last week. I don't want to live in fear. I have a higher power. I started this.
And he's not called Tim.
I started this spiritual fast 2 days ago. So today's day 3. And it's a thing with me and God. And I did this, it's called the Daniel fast. And basically I call it, you eat dirt, mud, and grass, but it's not, but I'm constantly in prayer. And for example, yesterday, Tim and I were actually on Sunday, we were at the farmer's market, and literally I looked over, it's toffee. I look over, it's meat. I look over, it's everything I wanted, right? And so I was like, dear God, I went inward and I started praying, and I went and I got grapes, and I was like, clam chowder, every grape was like pizza, and I got through it. But, I feel like I need to go on this spiritual fast for me and my relationship with my higher power. And I'm glad I've made it this far, and I did it 2 years ago and my life changed. So I feel good right now on that level.
And one other thing I want to throw in, and I want to get to our guest, is I see a therapist every 3 or 4 weeks. We'll talk. Jen does the same thing. We started doing couples therapy. And the one reason Jennifer said, I want us to do couples therapy is there's nothing wrong with our relationship, but I want to make sure nothing goes wrong with it and strengthen it because I love you so much. And it hit me thinking about that today when I was out feeding the squirrels and having coffee, that my wife wants to do everything possible, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, to have the best relationship with God and me. It's pretty badass. But anyhow, on to...
wait, I want to thank my brother for helping us with the lighting. He's our director and producer right now, but our real producers, Chelsea, Trinity, and Candace.
And we want to thank Lux Media for their badass platform and everything they do.
Yes.
So anyhow.
So our guest is someone who I love so very much. I don't know if he even remembers how instrumental he was in my life in 2011. I will talk about this, but he is an actor. He's a fitness guru. He is a singer. He is so talented, and I'm so honored to call my friend. I love you, Jeremy Jackson.
Jeremy Jackson, welcome. Hi, Jeremy.
live from the Cadillac.
Yeah.
What year is the Cadillac?
It's a 79 Eldorado.
So cool.
So does that have a 400 under the hood?
It's got a V8. It's big. It's a gas guzzler. I know that. But I call it the attitude adjustment, because you get in here with the fuzzy dice and the psychedelic steering wheel, and it's slow, and makes people smile, and you just can't be in a rush going anywhere. You just cruise.
That's awesome. So your shirt, it says pray.
Yeah, because I be forgetting stuff all the time, so I gotta remind myself. I write it on my forehead. This is my version.
Thanks so much for doing our show. I want to go back a little bit. So Jeremy and I did Celebrity Rehab, and he made me laugh so hard. Thank you for that. And it was a ride. And I always look forward to coming to work and just laughing with you. And yet, like, there was like, I had to, like, I was a counselor girl, so like I had to be there was a thing, but like he said, one day, this is funny. He's like, you're really cute for a chubby girl. And I was like, oh, what? Like, cause I had lost all this weight, right? So I was at like 160 and I was like, whoa. He's like, after the show, like, let me train you. I can get you down. I was like, it hurt so bad because I thought I was like HOT. And you know what, Jeremy, you got me down to 136. I followed your instructions. Like, it was hardcore. And then you sent me I went to the gym with you, to the Beautiful People gym. And back in the day, I don't belong there anymore whatsoever, but it was like crazy, like seeing all the people, and like we were working out all the time, and like I was carrying, and at the time I was ending a bad relationship, and he was like, you know what? Leave them. You deserve better, and this and that. And like, you helped me with that too. And you encouraged me. And then I started going to church with you. In LA, and then a girlfriend at the time, I'd go with you and your girlfriend, and like, it was awesome. So there was like 3 like major shifts in my life because of you.
Yeah, I remember every stitch of it. It was a wonderful time. It was a big transition time, it was good times, so I appreciate you for that. And I kind of came on the show with my tail between my legs a little bit. I had been offered money by at the time I hadn't drank or done drugs in 10 years, but I was heavily using steroids. And, I had a manager that was saying, just drink a beer, man. And it's 50 grand, it's 100 grand. Just drink a beer and, go in and get the money. I'm like, dude, I really you don't understand, man. I'm a real one. I can't do this. So luckily they let me come on to talk about the steroids, and Jenn was so fun, and we had real moments in there, you know, and even Drew is such an amazing guy too. People ask me about him all the time.
Me too.
And nothing but good things to say about him. Gosh, Michael Lohan. I got to bunk with Dwight Gooden, you know what I mean? Like that was crazy, right? Really fun that time. And I'm glad we made and I could have been a part of your success story, getting fit as a fiddle.
I mean, but seriously, then I did it was like a month and a half or so of like hardcore, like I had to weigh everything, and I was carrying like little like cooler around everywhere and weighing my little shrimp and stuff and eating. And I left the relation, and I was just kind of like I was staying with someone for $100 a week on their couch. And it was like a big 5-year shift. For me.
But if you go Google Jeremy's name and look at some of the photos. I mean, Christ, what's your body fat?
0.
Yeah, it fluctuates, man. I'm an extremist, I'm up and down. I've been as low as 6%, right now I'm probably like 12. I'm on the comeback right now. The holidays.
But I mean, you're an active, you've obviously been in the fitness realm a majority of your life. I see on your social media, you're actively boxing. Do you do mixed martial arts as well?
Yeah, I've been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for the past 7-8 years. I've boxed for about 6-7 years. I got rusty and just decided to pick it back up. The Baywatch documentary, we just finished wrapping, and we just wrapped, actually. It'll probably be out in summer of this year, but they wanted to see me do some boxing. So I was like, hey, I better sharpen up my boxing skills. So I started working with my buddy Blake Builder, who's a pro MMA fighter, and it's been fun. Boxing is very much a dance, you know, it's very much a rhythm and a dance. And I'm not proficient with it, but you know, it's good to do things that you're uncomfortable with to try to grow, you know?
I have a buddy of mine from high school who lives in the town you live in. His name is Pat Tassin, and he's like a 3rd or 4th degree black belt in jiu-jitsu. Wow.
Yeah, you gotta let me know where he trains, man. I'll go visit him.
Yeah,
aren't you like high up there in jiu-jitsu?
I'm a purple belt right now, which is a pretty respectable belt, you know. It goes brown and then black after that, and I've been fortunate enough to win some tournaments. I was competing pretty heavily in my 30s. So yeah, I mean, jiu-jitsu is definitely my love. But you know, training, you know, boxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling. I just actually got out of a workout right now. Me and my buddies were climbing ropes and throwing heavy rocks and all kinds of weird stuff. So you got to kind of keep it interesting.
Like you really are at 100, like always have been. Like you have to, and I'm sure you were probably like that as a kid too, right? Like just doing a million things.
Yeah, man. When I get my heart set on something, I get pretty enamored with it and go all the way in, you know?
So, okay, for those who may not know, like Jeremy started acting at the age of what? 6?
Started when I was 6. Yeah. But, you know, before that, I was practicing my craft before I knew it was a job or a career, before I knew, you know, that I could get on a TV show. I was studying, you know, actors, and, you know, David Hasselhoff was actually one of my idols. Like Knight Rider was the coolest guy in the world to me. Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson. I saw these guys that had this it factor, you know, that je ne sais quoi, where, you know, panty dropping dudes. And I was like, I want to be that when I hey, lack of power is our dilemma, right? I was like, those guys got power. I need whatever that is. I knew out the gate.
That's so cute.
So how old were you when you got signed to play Hobie on the original Baywatch? I mean, I remember watching that as a kid, and I'm a little older than you, but Knight Rider and all that, but I can remember going, what a badass job. You're surrounded by beautiful women. You're at the ocean. You're in boats. You're on the water.
You're with Knight Rider.
How old were you when that happened?
I was 10 years old. I got the show when I was 9, and I'll always remember because I think it was the 4th audition that I had gone to for Baywatch, where they did the selection process, was the day that Michael Landon died. They announced it on the radio when I was on the way home with my mom. And, you know, I grew up watching Highway to Heaven. So I remember that day. I was 9 years old. We didn't start filming till I was 10, and we filmed all the way until I was 21. So It was really 11 years of my life.
And what people don't understand, if I'm right, it got down to either you or Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. I bet he's really super bummed out now, but, you know, I'm sorry. Can't have all the luck.
I love you.
That's a hell of a run for a series.
Yeah. And that's a lot of pressure.
I mean, that's 11 years.
I'll tell you though, I did want to ask you about your mom and your sister, how your family's doing, but you have you have a great relationship with your family. And like, you're lucky that you had, you know, a good family surrounding being a childhood actor and all that comes with it. Like, I mean, he was like,
I have no idea.
I mean, it's crazy. The notoriety that you had growing up when you're just a kid and then thrown into this world.
Yeah, it's very interesting, you know, because, you know, I didn't study the art of manifestation as a kid. Nobody told me that thoughts became things, but when I just dreamed about it every day, stepping up on stages in front of thousands of people, singing, you know, being a superstar, signing autographs, having human tunnels built for me so I could get from the car to the arena door, you know, and all that stuff actually happened, you know, and very lucky to have a mom that never gave up on me. And I mean, I had gnarly learning disabilities, dyslexia, you know, I couldn't really read. I wrote backwards. And she would read me all my lines so I could memorize my lines as a kid. She was my right-hand man. And, you know, sister got to do a lot of fun things, got to travel all around the world. And it's been me, my mom, and my sister, you know, through thick and thin, the ups and downs. I'm super, super duper lucky. Although I put my mom through hell because I wanted her to just leave me alone so I could get all the chicks, and she wasn't ready to let a 12-year-old kid disappear with a bunch of European chicks, you know?
So what's it like being, 15, 16 years old? You're probably making a considerable amount of money. Yeah. I mean, you're getting into drinking. Drugs are probably everywhere. Women are everywhere. And your ego just had to be huge. I mean, what was...
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a lot going on there. There's, presumed spouse syndrome, they call it, where, I'm the man of the house. I'm the breadwinner. I'm the one with the power. If I don't show up, no one makes money. So I'm throwing my weight around. And, then there's mom trying to do her job. She's very overprotective. She's very understanding and loving, but she wants to keep me in line, and I want to go. All I want to do is get out of line, and I was very young. So really the fact that people were trying to protect me or hide these things from me drove me nuts. I wanted, let me try to get some better light here because it's getting dark outside. You're in the back seat of my caddy now.
Ooh.
You could go in the back seat of your caddy.
No, we are.
I know, but he could go in the...
We can hug like we're in the back.
We could smooch in the back seat of the caddy.
And, it was just, to me, it was like, whatever they're hiding, whatever they're trying to protect me from or keep from me, this fun that other celebrities or older people are having without me, there must lie some secret to life there. There must be some answer in why I don't feel like I fit in. I'm miserable. I'm not partying. They're partying. I'm going to figure this stuff out and I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
What was your relationship with David Hasselhoff like?
I mean, it's kind of experience money can't buy, or, you can't really create on your own. It's good and it's bad, just like everything in life. It has had its ups and its downs. I was a 10-year-old fatherless kid looking for a role model, and he was a 30-year-old superstar with chicks knocking on his door. So, I kind of tell people that he was like a big brother to me. I was looking for a dad, but he was really not wanting to be that guy. He was wanting to horse around and have a good time. I can't imagine, when I was 30, having a kid tugging at my heels, in his position. I probably would have done the same thing, but he taught me some really valuable lessons, man. He's a bigger than life personality. He believes in himself. He's the man at reinventing himself, which is kind of something that people have accredited me with, the ability to make a comeback and do a turnaround. And I think I got that from him.
That's crazy. I actually went to David's house because you had a party there. I'll just call it a party. And I show up there and it's like all of them, there. And I walk in and like the car is in the front of that inside the house. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, and I was like totally
giant SpongeBob thing. Remember the giant SpongeBob thing?
Yes, that was so crazy. Like, I was so geeked out. Like when I was over there, I mean, like I'm in his house with you and it's your family and everyone, like there's such a joy. It was a joyous reunion that day there. But the relationship that I saw with you and David it was amazing. Like you could just tell the man's so proud of you and like loves you so much, and vice versa. But like, was there a point where, like, where did the drugs and alcohol and all that come in? Like how old were you?
I started, I started experimenting with chemicals when I was probably 4 years old. And before I was 4 years old, I started in diapers, still crawling. I started sticking stuff in outlets, tweezers, bobby pins, forks, knives, because legitimately anything I was told was no, dangerous, don't touch. I was like, why? Is there something in it? There's got to be an answer in this naughty stuff. If it's naughty, I'm going to do it. Don't tell me it's naughty because I'm going to do it. I got shocked, right? I caused damage for myself and damage for my family. It hurt. And financially, there were repercussions to pay. You had to fix stuff, and yet I kept doing it. So a lot of times when will speak, I'll just lead with that. I mean, my drinking and using wasn't much different than that. I wasn't supposed to do it. It hurt. It cost money. I got in trouble for it, and it damaged, you know, my well-being. And yet I kept doing it. And one day I stuck something in the dryer outlet, blew myself across the room. And that was the last time that was my bottom in sticking things in electrical outlets.
That's a new one.
Yeah. And then after that, it was chemicals, bleach, Pine Sol, Comet, you know, ammonia, and I would mix different concoctions in plastic containers and like see which ones would do what. And then I'd stuff a towel under the door so my mom couldn't smell it. And, you know, one day in my 30s, I was like, dude, I was huffing freaking fumes in the bathroom.
Sure.
You know, then I'd steal cigarettes and I'd dip them in nail polish remover, wait for them to dry and smoke it to see if it did something. I knew that some of these like dangerous chemicals, these sharp smells, these, you know, these toxic things, I knew that somehow, some way there was a way to ingest them that would make me feel different. And I was searching out the gate.
So I want to take it a lot deeper than that. There's a lot of similarities. I didn't stick shit in outlets, but I like to blow stuff up and burn stuff and play with gasoline and all that. And smell gasoline. With all the things you were doing to yourself and experimenting and doing this, what do you think the underlying, what were you really seeking for? What were you searching for?
Oh, well, personally, I feel like I thought I wasn't, that there was a secret that other people knew that I didn't to feel a part of. I thought they were withholding it from me. Those are my earliest memories. You know, obviously I liked the adrenaline rush and the dopamine rush. And yeah, I was looking for an answer. I was looking to crack the code.
I'm going to give you a bit of advice. Take up skydiving.
Yeah, I did it once, man. Oh my gosh, I don't think I would do it again.
See, now the way I did my first tandem jump, April of 2000, and by that October, I had 250 skydives. I have over 500 now. I'm a full-blown adrenaline junkie.
Like, what's crazy?
I was not scared of it at all. Yeah, sure. Okay, sure. And I only put it off because I always said I didn't want to jump tandem. I wanted to do the course and do it on my own, right? Control freak. So anyway, it was my buddy's birthday. I'm like, sure. So I'm calm the whole time, calm in the airplane, calm before we jump out. And I've always had this morbid kind of point of view. Like, if life was over tomorrow, if I looked out my car window and I saw a giant asteroid hurling at the earth right now, I'd be like, sweet, I did pretty good. I tried pretty hard. All right, I'm ready. If I just got a call from God and said the earth is over tomorrow, I'd be like, no big deal. Okay. And people are like, really? I'm like, whatever. I'm kind of tired. Mm-hmm. But when as soon as I jumped out of that airplane, I was like, wait a minute. Never mind.
How about then when the chute opened and you go from 120 to dead silence hanging off someone?
I was scrapping, man. I was like, oh God. Oh. It was crazy.
Interesting. So but you've taken a lot of that and with the working out and the boxing and the martial arts, it seems like you've been able to harness some of it and channel it in the right direction.
Definitely.
But you've also got a really strong connection with God. And in your higher power. Like, I know that because I know, like, us through the years, like, it's been 10 years now, almost. It's gonna be 10 years this year. That, like, literally your bond with, like, your higher power is such a beautiful journey. And, like, you're very open and honest about it, just like you are about, like, your other things. Like, I remember reading something, and it's crazy that it stuck with me because I don't really remember that much. But you posted this thing a long time ago about, like, I'm going to be really brutally honest of who I am, and, like, struggling with mental health issues and, like, dealing with that and dealing with alcoholism and drug, the isms and all that. And that, one of the things that I was so drawn to by you, not only is that we're like brothers and sisters and, like, we're both, we both are in are in recovery and we have struggled with the same disease, but that you are funny as all hell and you're incredibly intelligent, you know, and like you're almost like a biochemist, like when it comes to the body and stuff, like he knows so much. It's crazy. I'm like, what? Like, how do I do that? Like, I'm still offended that he called me chubby, but it's okay.
Well, put that on your 10-step inventory, Jenn.
Just kidding. But like,
it worked.
It did work. But
I might have been lying to you just to push you.
No, you weren't. I was like, I think I was like 164, 61. I was like, I lost weight. I'm 160. Like I got to 160. I was like, look at it. He's like, you're still chubby. But and it did work. But I see your connection, your walk with God. Like no matter what, you don't give up, you know, and like, can you talk a little bit about like your mental health issues? Because like, I think it's important that we talk about this openly, and you do.
Of course. Yeah. You know, and I believe that alcoholism and drug addiction is a mental health issue. You know, there's a mental obsession and a curious mental twist that comes with it, you know, and, you know, yeah, depression, anxiety, and, you know, it's a arduous task. You know, there's a lot of work that has to go into to addressing these things and keeping them at bay and reminding myself that I have that you know, I'm not like other people, you know, that I'm not going to grow new legs, that what works for people without alcoholism, without addiction, without depression and anxiety might not work for me. Hence my most recent experience with psychedelics, you know, trying to microdose mushrooms and thinking that was going to work for me. So if anybody's out there thinking about that, because it's a really, really big topic right now, and a lot of people are doing it. I mean, I rationalize and justify. There's doctors with like 20 years that are like giving this to their patients and they're swearing by it and they're sober in the program. And, you know, so I reset my time because I realized I felt like I was keeping a secret and it was going to cut me off from the herd. And
so what happened? You were doing the psychedelics by a doctor?
No, by himself.
By yourself.
Yeah, by myself.
He was his own friggin' doctor.
Like we're all.
So what would you do? Get some shrooms and grind them up and put them in capsules and
weigh them out and just take a little bit. Yeah. And then,
how long did you microdose for? Or it's
supposed to be like 10 days, 10 days off, 10 days on, 5 days off, 10 days on again with niacin and lion's mane, which is a non-psychoactive nootropic mushroom. And it's a really delicate territory, man. I mean, when you are, I take something to increase my blood flow before I work out. I take something to, you know, feed my muscles again when I'm done. I take something to keep my hormones, you know, it's like you're taking all these things. So, just like adding another thing doesn't seem like a big idea. You know,
so Jeremy, were you doing it more for depression issues?
I was hoping to address some depression issues. And, you know, there's research that I've done on kind of resetting neural pathways and kind of pushing your hedonic threshold up a little bit. So your baseline is happier. But, you know, I got to tell you, man, right now with 40 something days, I'm so happy. Like it was nowhere doing the real deal, you know, 100% honest, you know, daily inventories, helping somebody every day, hitting a meeting a day, calling the sponsor, living in sober living. Like, dude,
are you
in sober living now?
Yep.
Good. You know, I want to commend you, Jeremy, because prior to jumping on, you told us this and you said, yeah, we can talk about it, but I want to commend you for being honest about this, because there's so many people that I'm in recovery, but they're keeping that secret. And, you know, I joke around, you know, I love to do shrooms. I loved acid. I loved magic mushrooms. And in college, we could pick them by the pound load. But I know if I cross that line, I don't have, I'm gonna microdose. No, I'm gonna eat a bunch of them, and I'm not gonna stop until I've got a needle in my arm and I'm either OD'd or I got a pair of handcuffs on. But I thank you, and
I didn't know about the sober
deal.
living, and I really am so proud of you that you're doing that. I mean, it's like, just to be so open and honest, it's so fucking beautiful. I'm so fucking proud of you. Like, and like, I know that you are loved. Like, I know that you know that. And I just hope that you know that you're worth being loved.
You spot it because you got it.
Yeah, that's right.
And
that's
right.
We like, will do, really are.
We'll do anything for you. We're a half-hour drive from you, 45 minutes. We'll come visit you. Whatever you need, we're there. You know that.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah.
So how are you doing now? Like, with all the lockdown, like, everyone looks at you, and like, someone may be watching this right now and they're like, but like, he has it all together. Like, his body's great, he's funny, he's charming, he's good looking, like, he's all, you know, he's working. Like, how do you feel with everything that's going on in the world right now? Like, how are you getting by day to day besides, like, you know, doing your sober living? And I know that you have like a bunch of boys that you're always attached to in your hashtag. Some of them are like church boys or something like that.
Yeah, that's our little jiu-jitsu group. We wrestle on Sundays, so we called ourselves church boys. You know, I joke around with people message me all the time. They're like, oh, I just wish I had, you know, your energy, or I wish I had, if I had your this, or if I had your that. You know, I can't do it because you have this. And I'm like, I wouldn't wish my set of circumstances on my worst enemy, dude. Are you kidding me? You have no idea what's going on in here. But you know, taking the next indicated step. I mean, I got up at 5 o'clock this morning. I did not want to get up at 5 o'clock in this morning. I felt pukey. I drank too much caffeine. I had my coffee. It made me feel like I was going to gag. I felt a little dehydrated. You know, I went to jiu-jitsu class anyway. You know, my to-do list fell apart. I had to reschedule all this stuff. I did a meditation, 20-minute, really cool, pineal gland expanding meditation. My roommate actually sent me. You know, the pineal gland, it's your third eye. Okay. It's you know what's so funny? Okay, not to get off track, but if you like watch those episodes of freaking Celebrity Rehab, and all the crap I was saying is like finally coming true, like about like the toxic water calcifying the pineal gland. You know, you're controlling your free thought. Now, if you get into these vaccines and what's going on, and artificial intelligence and nanotechnology and fluorescent scans, and you're going to go to jail. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, this is how many years ago, right? But we won't get into all that. So anyway, did a meditation, and you know, I did some step work, and I came to work out with some friends. I always feel the weakest. I always feel the most tired. I always feel the most sore. Like, my elbows are killing me. I didn't sleep last night. It's never like good, you know, but you just move anyway and try to get a little better every day. So, you know, that whole progress rather than perfection, to me, you know, we claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. And these days I'm really trying to dig deeper into the specificity of each word, because it's taken really lightly. A claim is putting your flag in the sand and saying, this is what I stand for, right? This is a non-negotiable. Boom, this is mine. Spiritual progress is mine, means I have to be making progress. If I'm resting on my laurels, if I'm taking it easy, if I'm falling back a little bit, then I'm what's the other one? I'm not increasing my spiritual life, and things I get overwhelmed by my own thoughts. I get overwhelmed by my own mind.
You rest on your laurels, and you start one of the best lines, the best
welcome back, self.
Yeah. Don't take any advice from the last person you got high with. That's yourself. We become our own worst enemy. Right. You know, well, yeah, I think I'm going to microdose, and I'm going to do it for 10 days and take 10 off, and hey, great fucking idea. Not.
I mean, like, I feel like you though, and I think a lot of people really relate to this. Like, every time I kept a secret, like, it got me high. Like, and like, Look, I learned this time around to really tell on myself. And like, I learned to, and even now, like sometimes he'll be like, okay, Tim will look at me. I'm like, I gotta say something. And for me, it's profound. And he's like, all right.
Okay.
But I'm like, no, but I need to tell myself, like, it was that major for me because I need to be accountable because my head is so screwed up.
So loud.
Just like and I'll say my head's really loud right now. I have no idea what's going on. And you just said some words to me. I have not idea, like not even a clue. And at times, like when people ask me, like, how do you stay sober? And like, my big thing is, how do I stay stopped? So I've, again, never been sober on this day or had been sober on this day, right? Date or day. So it's a new experience for me. It's a new journey. When I'm overwhelmed, I just do the next indicated thing that's in front of me, the next indicated, like I just keep walking. And if I'm too drained, then is it my will or God's will? Where am I at? You know, and if I'm not aligned, then I get to realign myself. It's not, and I love that it is progress, not perfection.
So anyhow, we're shifting topics here because she'll get too deep with all this, and we'll talk offline.
I mean, but you know that I relate
so
to you so much.
I'm talking. We're talking with a good friend of ours earlier today by the name of Jason Hervey, and long story short, when I did,
you said
today, earlier today, I talk to Jason all the time. So when I did my documentary, this lady and a showrunner, we flew out here. We had 3 big meetings. The first person we met with was Jason Hervey 4 years ago last week. And I met Jason. We had coffee. I liked him. I said, cancel all the other meetings. And I signed with Bischoff Hervey Entertainment. And Jason and Eric Bischoff produced my documentary, Dope Man, on A&E. And Jason and I have stayed dear friends. And Jenn's met him, and we hang out.
And Jason produced your show.
So with Scott Baio.
Confessions of a Teen Idol.
Confessions of a Teen Idol. And I met Jason when I played a young Kevin on Wonder Years when I was probably 8 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. I got pictures with him way back when.
Wow.
And we've stayed in touch. He reached out to me probably about a month ago when his daughter came out here to California to train with some jiu-jitsu coaches.
Yep.
So, he's a wonderful guy.
He said that.
His daughter.
He said my daughter, because I knew Jason's kids did that, but he
told us to tell you hi.
He said to say hello, and I think his daughter is a purple belt as well.
Yeah, Shania, is that right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Unreal. Small world. So what are you working on now? What's in the future or project-wise? You guys have another Baywatch?
Documentary.
It's a Baywatch documentary. It's really, really interesting. Matt Felker is producing it, and they got the guys that shot West Coast Customs, the whole Pimp My Ride show. Really good crew. And Matt Felker is a guy who grew up in Wisconsin, idolizing Baywatch. I mean, he geared his whole life to try to be like Baywatch when he grew up.
Cool.
He moves out to Hollywood. Wanting to be like Hobie, and does all these music videos. He's this sexy guy, does all this stuff, becomes very successful. And Nicole Eggert reached out to him to produce a documentary. He's like, you have no idea, like Baywatch was my, it was never his intention to produce this, but he's like, I was obsessed with Baywatch. Let me tell the story. And so it's really cool that we have this amazing producer with this amazing film crew who has like this from a true fan's perspective on how it impacted his life and telling that story to this new generation of people who didn't grow up with Baywatch. So I think there's something for everybody, the moms and dads that grew up on it and the kids that haven't seen it yet. Maybe they saw the movie, but they, got a lot of pop culture, like Just Jared is on there, and a lot of really kind of cool big wigs that talk about Baywatch in the 90s, specifically everything that was going on in the 90s with OJ, with the riots, with this kind of turn of events before Instagram. Baywatch was like the live beautiful feed of bikinis life for the world, so it's pretty neat. It's gonna be a great documentary.
That's so cool. Wait, so do you know Brandy then? Ledford.
Brandy Roderick.
Brandy Ledford.
Ledford. Oh yes, of course. Yes.
Okay. Because I know that she's a friend of ours, and she was on. But did she shoot this too?
I'm not sure if they shot her. If not, they're actually looking for anybody that they haven't shot. So you should tell her they're looking to interview people that haven't got interviewed yet.
Did you shoot this during COVID?
Yeah, they did a lot of. It screwed us up actually. We were about 75% done, and we had to halt filming. And we just started doing the reshoots on some other stuff, all masks on, social distancing, and all that kind of stuff.
That's so great. Are you still singing?
Not really. I mean, I'm actually recording a song right now. I guess. Yeah.
No, I'm not singing, but I'm recording a song. Okay.
Yeah, but it's actually it's for the documentary. American Dream is the name of the documentary, so it'll probably be the name of the song as well, which is interesting. You know, it's like, you know, be careful what you pray for. You know, you might just get it, and at what cost? You know, that whole American dream thing seems real appetizing and appealing, but once you know what it takes and what you have to sacrifice and what it costs, you know, you might.
That's
awesome.
Deep what you're saying, because so many people look at, oh, you're the kid from Baywatch and you have this great life, and you get, and you were a supermodel, and you were this, and people don't understand all the variables behind it, and all
the pressure, and all the pressure we put on upon ourselves too. But that's like what you're saying, like you were the person who set the rules up in your family, like you as a young kid, like you're just supposed to be a kid, but you know, you were thrown into, this was your journey, just like it's my journey, right?
You get to drive fancy cars, hot chicks, you're on TV, you're famous, you have money, everybody wants you, and you get your ass kicked at parties when people are jealous, and you get your teeth knocked out, and you've had your nose broken 19 times, and you get 40 grand stolen from you at random from con artists who know you have money and set you up, and you get your car stolen, and you know, you get people to lie about you and say you have a sex tape when you don't have a sex tape, and then you get every relationship you get into, people think you're acting and lying to them because you're an actor, and then they act fake, and you're forced to be in an inauthentic environment almost at all times, and you got to try to scramble and plead and beg for people to understand that you're a real person, and you know what I mean. There's a lot.
That's deep, man. That's deep, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I mean,
besides the sex tape, everything else was like my story.
Yeah. Well, there's still time for you guys, you know.
I was gonna say we could put one out. We might be able to make some money on it.
Have one. It's the fakeness and the lie about that. I mean, it's hard. Like, you know, you get a bad right. You can get like people can put you on a pedestal, or they can just like try to bury you, and you're like, yo, I'm a human being. Like I'm just a being. Like I'm a spirit.
Because today people either love you or hate you. There's no middle ground. And when I heard you talking, that's one thing I like is. I wish more meetings were open here, but when we go
more meetings, there are no meetings.
I know, but when we go to the meetings here, there's a lot of entertainment people, musicians, but you know what? They're just normal people.
Absolutely.
They're just normal people that have the same struggles and trials and tribulations. And we work this program called Recovery in Life to build a foundation to be a better person, to give back and help others. It's not that fucking complicated, you know?
No, I agree. And I mean, I think with what's going on in society today, and like kind of how I started out, like with like, what the fuck is going on really? Like everyone's just bashing each other. We're breaking into like capitals, you know, the Capitol, we're doing this. And then like, we're just trying to get by. Like right now, we're just like head above water, trying to breathe, get by the next day to the next day to try to end all these other things that are going on. And then we have to struggle with our own illness, you know, like life's not easy.
Okay, let's ask. So I got two questions. Did the name Hobie come from the Hobie Cat sailboat?
Yes, it did.
So I grew up sailing. We had a 14-footer. Then I grew up sailing a 16-footer. And then we had an 18-footer. But I could walk that 16-footer across the lake. And you know what I'm talking about, walking it. She's shaking her head.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But that's what I figured where that came from. And I want to ask him about the diet you guys have me on.
He's on all protein.
All protein.
Meats and water and coffee. Is that okay?
So carnivore diet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. The best. What's your blood type? Do you know?
Red. I have no idea.
The carnivore diet is amazing. It's specifically incredible for autoimmune disorders. If you stay on it, you should notice really good, noticeable difference in your skin, tone, clarity, texture. Bowel movements can kind of be an issue at first. You might like feel
no issue in that. I poop like a rock star.
Just wait.
So, what I would suggest is carnivore diet, all meat, works best when you are going what's called nose to tail. So specifically, if you hit the right variety of organ meat, brain, lung, thymus, kidney, liver, you're actually getting a full spectrum, every vitamin and mineral that your body needs, from vitamin C, stuff people don't even think is in protein. It's all there. It just has to be in the right ratios. So I work with this company called Ancestral Supplements, and they have grass-fed New Zealand capsules of all of that stuff. Kidney, liver, heart, spleen, thymus, pituitary, anything. And specifically, if you had pituitary issues, or you had thyroid issues, or you had brain fog, if you had issues, specifically a bad heart, lungs, COVID kind of stuff, you want to ingest more of that, more brain or more lung or more heart, depending on your issue. Liver is the best as far as nutrient ratios go, but obviously people don't want to eat stomach and intestines and brain, cow brain. So you eat a burger patty or a ribeye or whatever it is, eggs. I was eating eggs, and I would take the caps with the meal 3-4 times a day. As many times as I ate, I would take a handful of capsules, and you'll start to feel really, really good.
I want to lose. I'm about 216. I was hanging at 220. I want to get back down to 200, even 195.
Yeah, that'll be easy. How long you been on it?
We'll talk offline. I'll give you.
I mean, he will give you everything. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's like you're like so extremely smart. You know everything about like the body. Do you feel like
I just have a good memory for stuff that like tickles my brain. Like if it interests me, I like absorb it really well. If I don't like it, it's impossible.
Do you feel like you have to keep that in check too? Like your whole like ritual with body and stuff. Like, do you get body dysmorphia? Like I get like model body dysmorphia.
I don't see always only see my flaws. I've only appreciated my physique or my athletic ability in retrospect. I'll be eating cake, looking at a picture of me from 6 months ago and go, gosh, I looked so good back then. And then I'll a year later, I'll see a picture of myself right at that time I was eating cake, and I'll be like not in shape. And then I was like, I was totally in shape while I was eating myself up like I looked like shit. It's like this horrible cycle of never appreciating what I have. So I've come to learn that, training or eating to look a certain way is never going to make me happy. I got to do it like medicine for my overall health, for my spiritual health. And I have to, like we talked about earlier, I have to always question at what cost, because I can achieve anything. I can do anything, but at what cost, and a lot of times it costs me my sanity, and it's not worth it, you know? So,
and I love your passion behind everything that you're saying and doing. Your Perfectly Imperfect campaign. Can we talk about that really quick?
Yeah. It's, I'm not real big on like photo shoots and like doing Hollywood stuff, but this guy hit me up, Glenn Marsden from Australia, and he was like, mate, I want to shoot you, mate. And, I'm like, oh God, I got to pack clothes in the car, and I got to make sure my hair's done and shaved just right. And it's like, oh, but he's something about him, he was super cool. And I was like, okay, so I get to this photo shoot, and he's like, all right, I want you to think about like, hold on a second. I'm on this podcast, Charm. What's up?
Beautiful situation right here.
You like the car?
This shit is so
Get into love on the ride.
It's beautiful.
All right, I gotta do this podcast.
Okay, sorry, brother.
Good, I love you, dog. So he goes, I want you to think about like one of the worst times in your life, and I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. I want you to get there, go there. And he took a picture of me, in that place. And then I later learned that that's what he was all about, is shooting people in their most vulnerable moments. And I asked him about it, and he struggles with body dysmorphia and with depression. And I was like, wait, I want to be part of this thing. And I just kind of doing what we do and connecting some dots and bringing some people to the table. And he offered for me to be the face of the ambassador for the campaign and the face of the company. And, you know, we've done some really amazing Zoom calls. You know, since I last saw you, I got certified in breathwork meditation healing. So I've been teaching that for years.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So we've done some Zoom meditations for people all around the world doing breath work. And, you know, we got musicians and we got some amazing mastermind type people. And really the campaign is about breaking the stigma behind being able to openly talk about mental health and mental issues. Because, you know, I mean, you sexual, pansexual, non-binary, you can identify as anything you want these days. It's at Jeremy Jackson Fitness. But if you look on Jeremy Jackson on Facebook also, you'll find me. But yeah, most active on Instagram. Hit me up.
Cool.
We need you to come back on, and thank you so much for being on today. We love you. We honor you.
We got to see you.
Yeah.
Been too long. Last time we saw you was at the Rock to Recovery.
I want to do that breathing meditation.
You let me know anytime. And in Newport every day, 5 days a week, 5:30 p.m. got a meeting, and 8 p.m. on Mondays. Double up on Mondays, my home group. So anytime you guys want to come hit a meeting, let me know.
Okay.
You got it.
We love you so
Jeremy,
much.
thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
being
everyone,
on
for
the
listening.
show. Amen.
And we will see you next week. Be good to yourself.
We'll see you next week. This is Tim and Jen signing off from the Tim and Jen Show. Remember, if you are struggling with substance abuse, mental health, reach out to us, www.dopetohope.com, or you can call us at 844-611-HOPE, 844-611-4673. Have an amazing day.
Thank you.
Bye.
We want to talk to you about Clean Cause, better caffeine. What's in the can? Our organic, sparkling Herba Mate is a premium pick-me-up that won't let you down. Every can of Clean Cause contains 160 milligrams of better caffeine, and each sip supports recovery from alcohol and drug addiction. 50% of the profits go to assist people into sober living. Check out cleancause.com.
Seaside Palm Beach is an executive luxury addiction treatment center located in Palm Beach, Florida. Our private clients come from all over the world, including business executives, professional athletes, celebrities, and more. Seaside Palm Beach offers first-class amenities and high-end accommodations, including a gourmet culinary experience, ocean views, pet-friendly facilities, and access to cell phones and laptops during your stay. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, please call us at 877-959-5053. Again, that number is 877-959-5053.
Hope. At Rosecrans, it's more than a wish. Hope has power. As the proven behavioral health leader in the Midwest, no other program offers our depth of experience and hope here at Rosecrans. And when someone you love struggles with substance abuse and mental illness, hope plays an important part in recovery. Life's got bigger plans for you. We should know. We're the most trusted name in treatment and the best choice for those who dare to hope. Visit us at rosecrans.org. Life's waiting.
Now, glutathione is a big word, but it's the body's own master antioxidant. So it's a scavenger for free radicals, for bacteria, and what's relevant now, viruses. This is new to the marketplace. There's no other product on the market that has the ingredient NACET.
And basically NACET increases the production of that glutathione that is in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system and keep it strong. Elevated sense of well-being. Supports muscle strength and endurance. Cognitive function. Powerful liver support. Energy. Helps blood sugar regulation. Superior bioavailability of key ingredients.
One of of your best defenses against COVID is a strong immune system. Taking GSH Plus as a daily supplement does all that. And now we have the product out on the marketplace.